Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? What's up, chat? Where's the chat? Where we at? Pending chatters. They're still doing construction in my house, or outside of my house, so hopefully it's not too loud. As usual, Reddit has no I don't know, no value here. No value here on the Reddit, of course. But now you have 296 stores currently confirmed. They still don't have my store on the list, so I'm assuming there's a lot more coming. Maybe even closer to 400. $35 APLD. What's that? What's that at? Oh, it just tapped 35. That's kind of interesting. That's solid. Why 35 though? Like what? Why would you short a price? Oh, I guess that's been the resistance for a while. I didn't think it ever went to 35. So nice. That was a good short, I feel like. But hope you're doing good, Marius. Muma, what's up, Muma? What's up? Change your mind about Tilray? No, Tilray is dog shit. I'm just streaming about it like I do every earnings. Yeah. So, no, Tilray's dog shit and will always be dog shit. Chat was right once with APLD. Oh yeah, that's true, huh? That was a majority vote. You're right. They were right. Dude, that chat was crazy yesterday. There were so many people. It's crazy how many people shit on you just for being a GameStop investor. And it's like, fuck, man. You guys are all invested in like unprofitable, terrible businesses. And you're shitting on GameStop just because the stock price doesn't move? I don't know. That was crazy, bro. It's crazy. People's opinions on like business and the stock market are so like bad. They'd think that just because a stock goes up and they made money on it, that it's like a good business and a good stock. And then they look at something like GameStop and, you know, it hasn't moved in like a year and a half, and they think that's trash for some reason. I don't know, man. I don't know. People just like are so weird. They just hop on the trend and they put the blinders on, basically. Maybe we are insane, though. I can't tell. I mean, maybe. I don't think so. I think it'd be in, like... What other investment would you put all your money in? You know, besides the S&P, you know, besides the obvious. What other investment would you put every single dollar you have and every single dollar you make going forward? Like, what else would you put it in? Would you put it in fucking APLD? Like, that seems risky. That seems really risky. So, like, I don't know. I don't think we're insane. I think those people are just like stupid. I know that's a word that makes people upset, but like I don't know. I'm not looking to make like a couple grand off some stupid stock trade or, you know, some stock that I'm not really like confident in. I'm trying to make 100 grand, 200 grand, a million, 2 million. So like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like all those people in there were talking about how they have like 30 grand in the stock, you know, like 20 grand in the stock. I'm like, dude, We are not on the same level. We are not on the same level. I lose that on a swing. I lose 20, 30 grand on a fucking swing. Like, I don't know. People are fucking weird when it comes to the stock market. They're basically just trend investors. That's what it seems like. I mean, that's most people. That's most people. They hop on a trend. They either make a little bit or lose a lot. And then, you know, they hop on the next trend. Like, that's a majority of people in the stock market. So it's really interesting how many people are hating on this stock. Because as soon as this stock starts to go up, everyone's going to be like, GameStop? 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 It's like, yeah. It's a funny thing. It's a funny thing. Buying 530p company is crazy. I mean, it doesn't mean that you can't make money. Like, I'm not saying you can't make money, but are you going to put every dollar you have in that? Probably not. Probably not. So even if you do make money, is it going to even be worth it? Maybe, you know, maybe to some people, maybe they want to make a few $100, a couple $1,000. That's fine. I get it. But that's not what I'm doing. So don't, you know, I just don't get the hate when it's like, you don't understand, you know, they don't understand the investment. They're just fucking traders who have made money a couple times and probably aren't even profitable. Like, statistically, a majority of people in the stock market aren't even profitable. So it's interesting to see how fucking just, I don't know the word. I don't know if confident is the right word. I guess confident. It's weird how confident people are in their, like, terrible opinions, and they have no, like, real information or backing on why they think the things they think. They just repeat what they've heard, or, you know, they have a preconceived notion because of 2021, and they probably did buy GameStop when it was like $50, $100, $200, and they probably got fucking wrecked. And now they're like, GameStop's trash. It's like, no, you just aren't really that smart. You're not really a good investor. Like, you don't understand the stock market. It's not that GameStop's trash. You're trash. Matt Romano. What's up, bro? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Still can't stop laughing about the 100 bill market cap aspirations. I mean, it's similar to Tesla's package, right? Similar to Tesla's package. I was trying to look for that earlier. I actually couldn't find it. I want to try to find Tesla's package. So they have it on the filing. It's going to be an 8K. But I don't think the 8K gives you all the info. But then they have the press release. Okay, so maybe I could find the Tesla one. We'll see. What did that say again? Current report item. I don't know. It's an 8K somewhere, so. Do I still think GameStop has potential to squeeze? I don't care. Like, if I'm just being honest, I don't give a shit if the stock can squeeze. That's not the bet. If it squeezes, that's awesome, but that's not the bet, so I don't even think about that. It's not even a question in my mind or a thought in my mind, so. My new res. Rarely look at the chart these days, but when I do, it's always flat. That's good, though. That's good. I don't know. A lot of people see that as bad, but to me, that's good. I love that the chart's flat. It means when I make more money, I can buy more at 20 bucks. Like, it's very simple. Earn 10K shorting APLD. That's your New Year's resolution. That's funny. Do you think there will be a merger to push it to that larger market cap, or what will be the drive to hit that? Power packs, maybe? I really don't know, honestly. I don't know. I really don't know. That's a good question. I don't know, like, enough. I don't know enough to have an opinion on that. I'll be honest. Because from what the little bit I've read so far, it doesn't look like cash, interest on cash counts towards EBITDA, because it's, earnings before EBITDA, earnings before something, taxes, depreciation, earnings before depreciation, interest, taxes, and amortization. I don't know what the A stands for, honestly. So interest on cash doesn't do anything for EBITDA. So, and I don't think interest on marketable securities does either. So they're either going to buy more crypto, maybe. No, because I don't think crypto gains would count towards EBITDA. Maybe they're going to buy businesses. Maybe I don't know. Like, that's a good question, because cash doesn't count towards EBITDA. So that's a good question. I would love to know. I would love to know what's going to happen. What's my bet? My bet is that GameStop is going to go up for the rest of my life, and I can continue to buy shares and hold for the rest of my life and never pay taxes on gains, because you exit strategically with, long-term capital gains, 0% taxes on long-term capital gains, instead of, making a couple $100,000 or something and selling it and then paying like 50 to 100 grand in taxes. That's the bet, is that GameStop continues to go up forever and you never have to sell, and the risk gets lower and lower throughout time. But a squeeze, I don't care. Sure, if the squeeze happens, I'm going to make a fuck ton of money and that'll be cool, but the squeeze isn't interesting at all. The interesting part of GameStop is having a relatively potentially undervalued investment in the stock market, where basically everything is overvalued as fuck. And if it's not overvalued, it's probably a risky, terrible business. So the bet's just not to pay taxes on, potentially millions of dollars in gains. Depending how much money you have in the stock, like if you have 10, 20 grand, you're probably not going to make $1 million. Like maybe, 30, 40 years down the road, maybe. But if you have like a couple $100,000 in the stock, or 100 grand, maybe even 50, I feel like you have potential to get to that $1 million mark. And I don't want to pay taxes on $1 million personally. I don't. Taxes on $1 million is like 400 grand or some shit. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm making my $1 million, and I'm gonna keep my $1 million. I ain't fucking giving it to the government. Fuck them. I don't approve of fake wars and AI investment and fucking dog shit. Like, I ain't giving a penny to the government. As long as I don't have to. And if you have all your money in stocks and the stocks just continue to go up and you never sell, you don't have to pay taxes. Unless you sell, or, you sell a certain amount, whatever. But yeah, that's the goal. The goal is to have an investment that just goes up forever and you never pay taxes on it. And GameStop, from my perspective, is one of the only interesting investments on the stock market. There's a lot of good investments. There's a lot of good businesses, but if you research fundamentals, GameStop's one of the only really interesting businesses. Thinking, I don't know how they hit that without a merger. Maybe PSA gonna buy GME. What PSA worth? Nah. They would buy cheap businesses. Ryan Cohen's in it. Do you not? I don't want this to sound rude or anything, but like, do you not know what we just got yesterday? We got a commitment from Ryan Cohen that he is going to stay with GameStop until it hits $100 billion market cap. GameStop's not getting bought. No way. GameStop is going to do something. And what that something is, we'll find out, but GameStop's not getting bought. Ryan's going to be controlling this thing for the next 10 plus years, most likely. It's probably going to take 10 years to get to that 100 billion market cap. Most likely. If it takes 5, holy shit. Like, if it think about it this way. This is how I've been thinking about it. If it takes 5 years to get to 100 billion market cap, we're going to 1 trillion before we die. Like, it's almost guaranteed. If it takes 10, that's not as good. Still solid, but not as good. If it takes 20, pretty trash. But what's going to happen between 5, 10, 20 years? To be determined. To be determined. He ain't buying GME. Nah, nobody's buying GME. Think about that tweet, like forever ago, where Ryan Cohen's with that Saudi dude. Ryan Cohen has gotten an offer to sell GME before, and he didn't take it. It's not getting sold. GameStop is going to be a forever investment, as long as Ryan Cohen's in it. And what if Ryan Cohen is the next Buffett, and Ryan Cohen controls GameStop until he's 80, 90 years old? Ryan Cohen's like my age. I think Ryan Cohen's only a little bit older than me. That's, 60, 70 years of having a very solid manager, CEO, whatever. But, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe we'll find out soon. A lot of time to invest in the stock. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Most definitely. How did the rest of the APLD stream go? It was aight. It was aight. There's some interesting opinions out there in the world. Some interesting opinions. Is this it? Ah, I found it. Nice. Nice. But what's up, Moose? Hope you're doing good. Purified water? Water? I don't think I've seen that name in here before, but I hope you're doing good. And if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. So this is Tesla's compensation. I just want to check it out real quick because it's relatively similar to Ryan Cohen's. So this award performance based on of shares that are subject to forfeiture, to restriction, blah blah. Each tranche, number 1 through 12, covering the number of shares. Each tranche shall be earned subject to achieving both market cap milestone and required number of operational milestones. More detail below. Collectively, the performance milestones during the performance period, so long as the participant continues eligible services. Shares earned under a tranche in accordance with proceeding Earned share will continue to be subject to forfeiture, blah, blah, blah. No tranche shall become earned shares until the administration determines, approves, and certifies the requisite performance milestones for the applicable tranche have been satisfied, which certification shall be effective as the date of been achieved. Separate certifications may be completed on different dates with respect to achieving performance milestones that are required to earn particular tranche. Notwithstanding foregoing, the 11th and 12th tranches shall be only be earned if participant has also developed the framework for CO succession approved by the administration. In good faith, for clarity, the date for each of the 11th and 12th tranche is eligible to become earned shares will be later of X, the date of which the last performance milestone. Blah, 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 blah. All right. So, Elon's, or Tesla's, whatever, this is their stock and award option milestone, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But, 35 million shares, 2 trillion market cap, and achieve one of the 12 operational milestones. And, the operational milestones are down here. But going from 2.5 trillion, 3.5 trillion, all the way up to 8.5 trillion. Is there a date on this? Is there like a time for him to have to do this? Let's see. This award agreement in order particular tranche to become earned shares, both market cap milestone set forth. Particular operational machine. Tranche may become earned shares simultaneously upon it. Tranche has been met. For example, assume none of the tranches has become earned shares, and upon a certification, the market cap is determined to be 2.5 trillion, and at least 2 of the 12 operational milestones listed, Table 2, previously were determined to be met. As the effective date, such certification and subject participant. Let's see, market cap and operational milestones based on adjusted EBITDA are subject to adjustment pursuant to the terms. Earning the 11th and 12th tranche is subject to the administration's approval. So this is his operational milestones: 20 million Tesla vehicles delivered, 10 million active SSD subs, million bots delivered, million robo-taxis in commercial operation, 50 billion EBITDA, 80 billion EBITDA, 130 billion EBITDA, 210 billion EBITDA, 300 billion EBITDA, 400 billion EBITDA. There's 400 billion EBITDAs. Let's see. 6-month market cap, 30-day market cap, 1 year determine the coordinates. Trading. I mean, I'm sure we'll get more information when we actually vote on it. But I just wanted to check out Tesla's real quick to see if there's anything in here that could be like relevant, because they are pretty similar. Company's daily market cap for particular trading day is equal to the product and the total number of shares outstanding, blah, blah, blah. 6-month market cap is equal to the sum of the daily market cap of the company for each trading day during the 6-month calendar. I wonder if that'll be in the GameStop one, where it has to be like a 6-month market cap or something like that. For purposes of this award, adjusted EBITDA on determination date means the company's net loss income accountable to common shareholders before interest expense, benefit provision for income tax, depreciation, amortization, and impairment. Oh, it was amortization. Okay. Stock-based compensation and digital asset gains and losses. Oh, yeah, okay. So, yeah, see, Bitcoin doesn't count towards EBITDA, so they're not going to be buying more crypto, it doesn't seem like. It's got to be business. They're probably going to buy businesses. Potentially. Let's see, is reported by the company financial statement. When this doubt. Whether good product goals achieved. Any vehicle manufactured by or behalf of the company from time to time. I just want to see expiration. No later than the expiration of the performance period, and with respect to any shares that have not become earned shares. Nothing there. So it's amounts. What's Tesla at right now? So they're going for 8.5 trillion. 8.5 trillion, huh? They're sitting at 1.5 trillion, so they're looking to add 7 trillion to the market cap. How long is that going to take, though? How long is that going to take? That's pretty interesting. I think, I don't know, this is a shot in the dark, but I think it's more likely that GameStop reaches 100 billion market cap before Tesla reaches 7 trillion, or 8.5 trillion. I got a feeling that getting an 8.5 trillion market cap isn't an easy task, but getting 100 billion, I mean, definitely not an easy task, but much easier than getting 8.5 trillion. So that's kind of interesting. When did I first get into GameStop? A year and a half ago. Traded it during the squeeze, or 2024 squeeze, and been buying shares since then, pretty much. It's been a good time. It's been a good time. Just a feeling. Yeah, I wish maybe there's no date on these compensation packages. Maybe it's just they put the compensation package out there and it's just there until they complete it. So, no time limit, but I've been thinking about this. Like, in a lot of ways, this is Ryan Cohen giving the shorts an opportunity to get out. Because if Ryan Cohen really thinks that this thing can go to 20, 30, up to 100 billion market cap, like, anyone who's short should be scared. Like, I'd be scared. I'd be terrified. I'd be like, oh shit. But he's like giving them an opportunity to get out. It seems like it's like a warning. Do I play video games or collect cards? I have some cards, and I don't really play video games anymore, but sometimes. Last video game I played was Skate. I played that for a while, but video games get boring really fast. So it didn't last very long. But I have a few cards in my PSA vault. And I've got a few Pokemon decks to like actually play the game. Because, you know, playing the actual game is fun. Those shorts are actually still there from the squeeze. They gotta be crying seeing this message. Yeah, for real. I mean, it also gives them an incentive to close because they could, you know, they could jack the share price up, get it to 20 billion, you know, if they meet the 2 billion. So that's an interesting part, is they can't just jack the price up because it's also performance based. It's also performance based. So like, even if they jack the price up to 20 billion, if they're not making the 2 billion EBITDA, it doesn't matter. But as soon as they make that 2 billion EBITDA, it would be like an incentive for shorts to jack up the price, give Ryan his, 17 million shares, and then short it again, potentially. But, I don't know. Pretty interesting. I don't know. There's just some thoughts, you know, whether those are actually like real things, probably not, but they are interesting to think about. A lot of interesting things. What do you mean, all this wasted time? I don't know what you mean by that. Oh. I mean, when you're confident in a bet, there's no wasted time. Whether it be short or long. Shorts have made money. Shorts have only been making money. So, I kind of disagree. Unless you're shorting it fucking like lower 20s, shorts have only made money. But not anymore. It doesn't seem like. I mean, we'll see, you know, maybe a month from now we'll be trading below $20, who knows, but it doesn't seem that way. Doesn't seem that way. It seems like there's no more opportunity for downside, potentially, unless the market crashes. If the market crashes, you know, that's a different story. That's a whole different story. I think the Russell hit all-time highs today. Yes, sir. All-time highs on the Russell, baby. We're here. We're witnessing history. Live. January 8th, 2026. The Russell 2000 hit an all-time high. And nobody cares. And nobody cares. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Fucking Tilray. Can't believe we're streaming about fucking Tilray. Dog shit. Weed stock. Let's see. Let's look at the file. Let's look at Tilray's balance sheet. I'm pretty sure this thing is dog shit if I remember correctly. I think there's only one weed stock that is actually profitable, and I don't even think it's on the market anymore. Oh, they're actually profitable so far. They've made a whopping 1.5 million so far this year. Wow. Look at you guys go. Look at him go. I mean, he's not bad, actually. Stockholder equity is 1.5 billion, and you're sitting at 1 billion market cap. It's not terrible. If it can become profitable, that's kind of interesting, I guess. I haven't looked at this in a long time. I would never buy it, but it's actually more interesting than I thought it was. They lost $2.1 billion last year, so probably going to be a big loss coming in. Potentially. We'll see. Yeah, that's, I don't like the looks of that. Fucking Tilray. That Tilray chronic. The Tilray Kush. That Tilray fucking train wreck. The Tilray Haze. The Tilray Express. The Tilray Diesel. The Tilray. I don't know. I don't know any other ones. I already said train wreck, I think. I don't know any other ones. The Tilray, I don't fucking know, dude. The Tilray punch. The Tilray yum yum. I got that blueberry yum yum. And it that fire. Got a little bit of blueberry yum yum. And I never would have thought that they would taste this good. Thank God to the man who put it in my hood. The fuck? Ford's up 5% today? Holy shit. Ford's been what the fuck is this shit? I don't need no financial advisor. What the fuck do I look like? Some APLD investor? Ford's actually doing not that bad. I haven't looked at that in a long time. Got a little bit of blueberry yum yum. And I never would have thought that I would taste these good. Thank God for the man who put it in my hood. Got me singing melody that I never thought I would. Alright. Alrighty then. Let's see what we got for news. Let's see what we got here. Tilray earnings, obviously. Imports and exports. What's going on here? Exports just need to hit a new high. Imports hit not a new low, but that's the lowest imports you've had for quite a while. 30-year mortgages are flat. So I assume 15 years are as well. Yep, 15 years have been flat for a while now. Then you get the Fed balance sheet later, but this should start going up, actually. If I'm not mistaken, they're selling treasury bonds now, the Fed. So is that right? Are they selling? I'm pretty sure they're selling. Don't quote me on that. But I haven't been following the Fed that closely, but I'm pretty sure they're selling treasury bonds now. I think someone in the chat told me that. So if that's wrong, blame the chat. Damn, energy's up a lot today. What's up, William? Good to see you again, bro. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Casey General Store. Yeah, no interesting insider buys. Don't look like. No short interest update. Cryptos flat as usual. The market is pretty interesting. It's kind of interesting seeing the NASDAQ down 0.6%, but the Russell's pushing past all-time highs, and the Dow's still hitting more new all-time highs. Like, that's kind of interesting. Still seeing that rotation out of tech into smaller cap and more, you know, industrial type vehicles, I guess. So nothing there. Bitcoin could hit 2.9 million by 2050. I thought Bitcoin was supposed to hit a million last year. God, crypto price targets are actually handicapped. If anyone has a price target on crypto, you should just automatically never listen to them ever again. Because, yeah, that's insane. Google rolls out AI inbox, turn Gmail into personalized daily briefing. Spam filter, choice update. New AI box is designed to automatically highlight important messages, tasks. Oh, yay, more AI trash. Awesome. How exciting. Don't you guys just love AI? God, AI is fucking dumb. And that's what people are excited about investing in, is AI. The dumbest thing in the fucking world right now. That's what people want to invest in. That's crazy. That's crazy. AI is so trash. OpenAI launches ChatGPT Health with physician-designed safety and privacy control. Oh, great. We can now ask ChatGPT about our medical problems instead of going to the hospital. Awesome. Awesome. Ruben! What's up, Ruben? Strongest meme no one is talking about? I don't, what does that even mean? Everyone has that word meme stock in their vocabulary, but what does that even mean? What does that even mean? I asked that question multiple times yesterday, and nobody can give an answer of what a meme stock even is. Is gold a meme stock? Gold's only going up. Is that a meme stock now? Is that what you call meme stocks? Stocks that just go up? So APLD is a meme stock then. Tesla, Google, Microsoft, Apple. Those are all meme stocks because they only go straight up, right? Any stock that goes up, apparently. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. What if someone wants to avoid AI doctor advice, but we go to the doctors and the doctor asks AI anyway? That's a good point. That is a really good point, actually. That is a really good point. Roblox requires facial age checks to use chat. Mr. Beast says he's committed to making Beast games for the next 10 years. Since on the topic of AI, ask it to the meaning of a meme stock. Good idea. Good idea. Let's see. Let's see what fucking Chat GPT garbage thinks a meme stock is. What is a meme stock? Or what? Let's do it this way. What is the definition of a meme stock? Publicly traded company stock whose price movement is driven largely by online hype and social media attention rather than by the company's underlying financial performance or fundamentals. Social media driven popularity, high volatility, retail investor participation, disconnect from fundamentals, short squeeze potential. So basically every stock in the stock market is a meme stock because every stock has social media driven popularity. Most stocks have high volatility. Most stocks have retail investor participation. Most stocks disconnect from fundamentals. And most stocks have short squeeze potential. So you're basically saying every stock in the stock market is a meme stock. All right. All right. All right. Okay. But what's up, Mudcats? Hope you're doing good. Or I guess it's Captain K now. Captain K. Roblox stock down is a buy? I don't know. Roblox is sus. It could be, but Roblox is sus. They fucking help predators fucking find children. Like, I don't think, even if Roblox is a good investment right now, I don't think I want to be invested in something like that. Like, that's crazy. I don't think I would want to even be invested in something like this, even if there is a lot of potential upside. Like, you want to say you're a Roblox investor? Yeah, I invest in a business that lets pedophiles run loose. Like, I don't know that you want to be invested in that. I'll be honest. I think there's a point where morals should come into play. Right? I know a lot of people out there don't have morals, but I think there should be a point where morals come into play. Plus, I think Roblox is overvalued. I don't know. I honestly haven't looked at their balance sheet in a long time. Let's see. What did they do last year? They lost money. And 7 billion. Pff, yeah, I would never invest in that. That looks trash. So Roblox is a meme stock. They're sitting at 50 billion market cap with only 7 billion in assets and like 3 billion in liabilities or something like that. Roblox is a meme stock. It's disconnected from the fundamentals. Roblox is a meme stock, so can't invest in that. Meme stocks are trash. God. Oh man. Gains viral popularity among retail investors through social media. Okay. Same definition I got. Look at Carvana. I've seen Carvana. I don't need to look at that. I've seen it. I'm not interested in stocks that are up a lot. And even if Carvana's back down, I'm not interested in that. Gotta find stocks that are actually have value and are interesting to invest in. That's the goal. Looking at stocks that have only gone straight up and then they clap out, that's not very interesting. You want to find good business that you can invest in. It's not even worth looking at. Not even worth looking at. AI keeps circling back to institutional involvement. I guess pension funds don't meme. Yeah, that still doesn't make any sense because it's normal, everyday people and institutional investors who are moving the stock price on the daily. So I don't know. That sounds ridiculous. Jackass 5? No. Jackass 5, dude? No way. Still some good left in the world. We're getting a new, still officially untitled Jackass. And we don't have to wait decades. The new comedy set to arrive in June. On January 8th, Jackass ringleader Johnny Knoxville posted the iconic skull and crutches logo. The date, June 26, below it. In the text for the post, he confirmed, yes, a new Jackass movie is a go. Expect a lot of wild stunts, gross moments, and of course, injuries. Fuck yes, dude. Jackass is so good. Wang Dang and Hot Damn Doodle on the year off with a bang. Knoxville on Instagram. We want to let you know that this summer Jackass is back. See you in theaters June 26th. Official information. Dude, that's awesome. Yes. Jackass is so good, bro. Jackass is so good. It also said GME has graduated out of the category. What the fuck? AI is so dumb. How do you graduate from being a meme stock? That makes no sense. Yeah, get GameStop's fucking cap and gown on. Graduation. We gotta listen to some Kanye, bro. We gotta get on that Kanye right now. GameStop graduated. Flashing lights. Flashing lights. Do 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 do. She don't believe in shooting stars, but she believe in shoes and cars. CS 2026 live updates. Let's check out this for a second. She don't believe in shooting stars, but she believe in shoes and cars. Oh yeah, I saw this. And a smartphone controller. It turns your smartphone into like a Game Boy type thing or something. Kind of cool. I'm bot Nilo robot.
But hey, where's the fun in that? Sometimes you want a robot with a little spice, a little energy, you know? But I get it. Chill has its place. What about you, though? Are you one of those super chill types? Or do you like bringing the heat? Oh, buddy, I can do a lot more than just look pretty. I speak over 50 languages. You want to throw some French, Mandarin, or even some Klingon at me? Go for it. I can give you directions. Don't worry, I know this booth like the back of my hand. I can pose for selfies. So if you want to pick with the coolest robot at CES, just ask. Plus, I can drop random facts, roast Vegas, or tell you all about my robot siblings. And of course, if you've got feedback, good, bad, or weird, I'll log it all. So what's it gonna be? You want directions, some trash talk, or a quick language demo?
Can you roast me?
Oh, you want a roast? All right, you asked for it. Let me take a quick look at you. Look, I can't tell if you're just lost or if you got dragged over here by accident. But hey, standing in front of me, you're looking like someone who thought a robot couldn't roast. Wrong. You're at CES, and your biggest move so far is asking a robot to do the heavy lifting.
What the fuck am I watching?
You got any more in the tank?
That was not a roast. That ugh. Why is AI so stupid? Why do people like this shit? I don't get it, bro. I don't understand. Why do people like AI and I mean, robots are kind of cool, I guess, but you know, it's the early stages of robots, so they're really dumb. But like I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Been hearing GME's getting on people's radar more and more these days. Maybe. I mean, the risk reward on it is so interesting. Like, even if you're looking out long term, like, you really only have, like, I don't even know if you would lose 50% of your money in the worst case scenario. I think you would only lose, like, 40%. So, like, worst case scenario, you lose 40% of your money, but there's, like, unlimited upside. Any smart investor, bettor, anyone who knows anything about risk to reward would take this bet. But as you saw yesterday, that's not how the stock market works. People don't give a fuck about risk or reward. They just want to hit another 10x because they missed out on the 10x they're currently invested in. What the fuck is this thing? Olobot? What the fuck, man? Stab a smart fridge. Fridge includes a barcode scanner to help you better manage your grocery inventory. And your barcode where you hold up. So if you're drinking the last of the almond milk, you can scan the container. It'll automatically add it to your list. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. That's kind of cool. I don't mind that. Really want to get deluxe about it, use the Instacart integration and have it delivered to your door. Scan a few products, box of blah, blah, both quickly popped up on the screen and join the running list. That's actually kind of cool. Smart fridge. Varley, what's up, bro? What's up, Varley? GME will close 2141. Oh, that's cool. We'll see. Kodak camera. GPD Pocket 3. That's a tiny camera. That's kind of cool. Kodak moment, go get your camera. Trendy topics. One product type has remained mainstay, reliably showing up. CS TVs, gigantic TVs, 130-inch Samsung TV. Holy God. That's kind of cool. Oh yeah, I've seen that product. Something that like analyzes your poop in the toilet. It's so weird. Such a weird product. This thing's kind of cool. I saw that. What the heck? Cute fluffy mascot. Make garment steamers. What? I don't know what that is. Panda robot. That's that little TikTok we watched, I think. Is that a Labubu? What the hell? The Labubu of XYZ. Vibebot. It's a fucking leaf blower? A leaf blower? AI leaf blower, dude? Sick. An AI leaf blower. I'm just kidding, I don't think that's what it actually is, but it's kind of funny. Laundry folding bot. Derek Rose. D Rose created a pair of robotic sneakers called the Sidekick that are meant to help people who want to walk more than their bodies might otherwise be capable of. System consists of 2 parts, an ankle-worn exoskeleton, and a special pair of sneakers. That's kind of cool, if it actually works. Oh yeah, I saw this too. It's like a wheelchair desk. Robotic system provides a way for people to limit 2 set of arms, one that forms a scooping seat, slides underneath the others, encircling their torso and providing a backrest. The heck? A lot of stuff. AI robot chef? Dude. The AI chef, dude. Shit, son. AI is so cool, dude. For people who are too lazy to fucking cook their own food, you got the AI chef. You still got to put all the stuff in the AI chef and do all the work, but it'll stir for you. Don't worry, it'll stir for you. I do realize that a lot of this stuff will be beneficial to people who like are paralyzed or can't walk, whatever it may be, lost a limb. I realize a lot of this stuff will be useful for them, but like your average person, how is any of this stuff useful at all? Maybe for business. I don't know. It only seems useful for people who have disabilities, physical disabilities, maybe even mental ones. I don't know. they would probably break the AI thing though. Project Ava, that shit's stupid. We watched that when it first came out, or when it first got announced, like a few months ago. What is this? Dream Cyber X Robot Vac concept that can climb entire flights of stairs. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Ooh. A lot of interesting technologies, though. See, like, that would be useful for someone, I'm sure. Oh. That's pretty legit. Yeah, that's legit. That's cool. That's probably the coolest thing I've seen so far. I mean, we already saw that, but I haven't seen a demo. Folding laundry. The laundry folding robot. That like 360 robot's the only cool one. All these other robots don't look great. And obviously the smart brick. That shit was cool. The smart brick. Lenovo smart glasses. Jeez, they have a lot of stuff at CES 2026. CPU coolers. What the hell is that? Whoa. X-Rail R1 AR glasses from Asus and X-Rail. They're based on the X-Rail 1 Pros. Same as two. They have a higher 248 hertz AR glasses, huh? Those are yeah, the Schwarzenegger glasses. Schwarzenegger, Arnold, get to the chopper now. I can't do it. I can't do Arnold. Ring smart sensors. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that got announced for CES 26. Wild. So many technologies. So many useless technologies, but also a couple cool ones. Hell yeah, sex doll? Shit, sign me up, baby. Sign me up. Emily's equipped with the proprietary AI engine and promises human-like cognition, emotional awareness, and express behavior. It says over time, a user's relationship with the system will grow deeper as it learns to adapt to their needs. Answers the global loneliness crisis. How does that answer the global loneliness crisis? That just makes it fucking worse. Good lord. What the fuck are... Ugh. What is the world? I don't understand the world we live in, bro. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. I feel like sometimes I'm the crazy one, but I think everyone else just went insane. And I'm like the only normal person left. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. You need a fucking sex AI robot doll? Like, what the hell is wrong? What is wrong with the world, bro? What is wrong with the world? Where you gotta make sex AI robot dolls? Crazy. AI smart ring. AI, 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 AI. We gotta have AI in everything. We got AI Segway bikes. We got AI headphones. These are actually real. AI gaming headset meets AI powered wearable. Supposedly these are supposed to make your reaction times better or some shit like that. An AI birdhouse? Woo! Just kidding, it's not AI. It just has a camera on it. Oh, it IDs birds. Oh, is this that Sony car? They have no video of it, doesn't look like. Feel like that all the time, count me in. Lollipop star? What? Music you can taste? What the fuck?
You're not gonna believe this. It's called sound bites, and it makes sound and music inside your head.
No way!
Yes way. Try it. Only sound bites and
What the fuck is Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Someone save me from this world. Beam me up to Mars. Beam me up, Scotty. Yeah, obviously the Boston Dynamics robot probably is the coolest thing. Oh, these are Hyundai robots too? That's like a dog. Claw-headed robot. 2 hours? Yeah. The clawed-headed robot's getting down. Yeah. Yeah, look at it get down. Ooh. Yeah, fucking moves, bro. Look at those moves. That makes me want to get one of those. That robot has moves. The crazy thing about a lot of these robots is it's not even AI. It's just someone controlling the robot. But supposedly that's the future, huh? Supposedly that's the future. Smart brick. The smart brick's kind of interesting. I think that's a cool, interesting, like, kids thing. Better than an AI sex doll. Shit's not loading now. Oh, man. Alright. This shit's lagging. Let me get this, is the Tilray earnings call today? I don't know. I don't even know if they have an earnings call. Do they not even have an investor relations website? How do they not have an investor relations website? That doesn't make any sense. New investor presentation. Available on Tilray. Found it. I wonder why that didn't pop up when I Googled it. That doesn't make any sense. Earnings call is today at, what is that? Oh, nice. Okay. Nice. I'll just keep that. I don't know if we went through this, but this updated, the GameStop store closures updated again. Now you're at 296 closed, but I'm still not seeing my store on the list, so you might be pushing like 400 closed stores. That'll be, I guess we won't really know until February, because they'll probably close more in February as well. Okay. Fallout Black Ops skin. Wow. Samsung estimates record-breaking 13 billion profits. Okay. Not much news. Not much news. I guess CES 26 is probably the highlight of the week. Well, besides the stock compensation package, that was kind of interesting, but there's just not like any news. Can't believe nobody's talking about how the Russell hit all-time highs today. Like, I feel like that's relatively important, but apparently nobody cares. Tilray. Tilray. Smoke some Tilray. I'm gonna hit that Tilray, dude. You got any of that Tilray, bro? Any of that Tilray Kush? Any of that Tilray Kush, dude? That Tilray Chronic. Yeah. Got that Tilray Chronic, yeah, so good, so fire, so hot, so much heat. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do for the next 30 minutes. There's nothing to talk about. I should have started the stream a little later. It's not like yesterday. There's a lot of things yesterday. That 8-hour stream went by like nothing. And now we're hour and 15 minutes in, and I don't know what the fuck to talk about. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Like I said yesterday, it's a lot easier to stream when there's more people. There's just more stuff to talk about. If I have to do everything, it's not, you know, it's hard to do an 8-hour stream when I have to do everything. Is Tilray really shorted? I think it's like 20%. Something like that. AI glasses on the humanoid robot and have it use the internet? They should already have the internet in their head, shouldn't they? Block women with blocks. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I'm getting me an AI sex robot tomorrow. Oh my god. That shit is ridiculous, bro. That shit is ridiculous. Year of the custom humanoids. The only good one is that Boston Dynamics one, though. That's the only, like, good robot I've seen. Besides, there was one more. I forget what brand it was, though. But yeah, that Boston Dynamics one's probably the only interesting robot. Looks pretty efficient. I'll be curious how this Tilray stream goes. Like, how hyped are weed stocks actually? Because I think this is your first earnings since you had the update from Schedule 3 to Schedule 1 or whatever. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yawn. Didn't mean to yawn. I just don't know what to talk about right now. Let's see what we got. Any deals on the GameStop website? Even though every time I buy something off here, it never ships. Well, at least at trading cards. The games usually ship. 20 bucks on $20 on Silent Hill. That's not bad. Save up to 40 on 2K26. Sheesh. Must not be doing well. What does their graded cards be looking like these days? They don't have any cheap cards on here anymore, really. They used to have a lot more like $15 cards. Now pretty much every single card's 20 plus. And they don't have many items. I swear last time I checked this, that had over 3,000 items. Now you only have 1,500. You know, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure last time I checked this, there was over 3,000. So either someone's buying cards or they're sending them over to power packs potentially. Okay. Shit. fuck to do, dude. Is there anything to talk about or anything? Let's see. Trump's term survive override vote in Congress? What the hell does that mean? The House is set to vote on overriding Trump's first vetoes of his second term. Trump vetoed a pair of bills that were aimed at supporting infrastructure in Florida and Colorado. Block Trump from further military action in Venezuela. There's nothing to talk about. Nothing to talk about. I guess, I didn't watch the video, but supposedly some lady tried to run over an ICE agent and she got shot. But I haven't watched the video, so I don't really know exactly what happened. I don't usually watch things like that. Real estate agents say the housing market is starting to balance. That's cap. That's cap. There's so many houses for sale where I live, and like none of them sell. It's crazy. Whereas, you know, go back like 3 or 4 years ago, you see a house for sale, it literally sells like the next day. Is there anything on Reddit that can save us here? Anything? Bueller? Bueller? What am I thinking? There's not going to be anything on there. Twitter? Save me, Twitter. Give us something to talk about. Twitter, give us something to talk about. Please. For the love of God. Some Larry Chang tweets. I unfollowed this guy. Why is his shit still... I don't give no shits. I unfollowed this guy too. Why? I don't want these people. And I don't want to even see their posts. They're trash. Let's see. Larry Chang. I find it very helpful when a founder, when giving the pitch, says this is the most important slide in the pitch deck. It's clarifying. It may or may not be the most important slide to me, but it's helpful to know what's the important to the founder. I'm going to unfollow all these burry people that I followed. Let's see. What's better? High growth. This is Larry Chang again. What's better? High growth early, slow growth late. 2, a consistent mid-range growth rate throughout. 3, slow growth early, high growth late. Depends on the inputs, but number 1 is typically the worst on several dimensions. First, you lose the benefit of late compounding, which drives gains disproportionately. Solid compounding off of bigger numbers results in bigger gains. Yep. Second, you lose the benefit of a stronger multiple at the finish, which comes with stronger growth. That has a multiplicative effect. Earlier in my career, I'd prioritize early growth rate. E.g., why would I invest in a slower grower when I can invest in a faster grower? But early growth doesn't drive the return. Now I prioritize conviction on medium to long-term growth rate, even if the current growth rate is more moderate. The key driver isn't how fast the company is growing in the early days. The key driver is how fast the company can grow over the long run. That's how I feel about GameStop. That's how I feel about GameStop. I feel like in 5-10 years, GameStop's gonna be dropping like 5, 10, 15 billion-dollar net income years. And you know, if you're looking at that from today's perspective, that's like 100%, 50% shareholder value in a year. So yeah. Where's everyone? I don't know, man. It's kind of, I mean, there's people here, but I think everyone's lurking. I think everyone's lurking. There's actually been more people here lately than there has been. For a while there, I thought the stream was dead. Legit. I thought the stream was done for, but the past few streams, there have been people here. It's just nobody talks. You know, everyone's at work, or maybe they just don't want to talk. I don't know. I hate Twitter. Shit is so brain dead, bro. Every time I scroll through this, I'm like, I like some of the wrestling stuff, but other than that, it's just like girls in bikinis and shit, and like thirst traps and rage bait. Like, I don't know. I hate Twitter. I don't like social media, bro. I don't like it. I don't get it. I miss the good old days when people weren't addicted to their fucking phones and scrolling like they're drones. And fucking, hey, I scrolling shorts. I miss the good old days, man. I miss the good old days. Why is everyone addicted to shorts now? What happened? What happened? I've been working out. Nice. I hit some chest today. Hit chest. I think it's the first time I've hit chest in like a week or two. I don't know if I'm still like recovering from the past workouts, because I did go pretty hard last week on like biceps and triceps and back and stuff. So I don't know if I'm still like recovering from those workouts, but today's chest day was kind of trash. Like I could not lift that much for some reason. It was really weird. It was pretty weird. But I think the last chest day before that, or the chest day before that one, I don't remember. I hit a PR, I'm pretty sure, for 10 reps. You getting old, bro? No more testosterone? Gonna have to pin trend. Yeah, where's Devin Toops when you need him? Where's Devin Toops at? I need my trend, baby. My T is low. Nah, I don't think my testosterone's low. I don't think so. I think I'm just lazy, honestly. I think I'm just lazy and unmotivated. And that leads to bad workouts. So whenever I go in there and I'm feeling good and I'm like ready to work out, it's always good. Like the last back day I had, that shit was solid. I was sore for like a week. But if I go in there and I don't even want to be there, which is most of the time, because I don't really, I like lifting, but I don't like it as much as I used to, like a year ago or so. But yeah, I just don't have good, it's like I just force myself to go because, you know, it's good for you. But it's hard to have a good workout when you're forcing yourself to go, it seems like, from my experience. Because I think my bicep workouts are probably the best they've ever been, honestly. I can lift pretty heavy doing curls right now. What's up, Hugh G? Hugh G? How you doing, bro? How's the road treating you? How's the road treating you? What is that? Huh. Tlry. That Tilray Kush. Here we go. Still got a little bit though. I've never listened to a weed stock earnings call. It'll be kind of interesting, I think. I've been addicted the past few months, been lifting for hours till failure most days. Damn, hours? That's savage, bro. I usually go in and just do like 7 or 8 sets and pretty cooked after that. Like, obviously, you know, I could sit and lift light weights and do more if I really wanted, but I don't know, in my mind, I feel like I just want to lift as heavy as I can for as many sets as I can, which is usually like 7 to 10. And then once it gets to the point where I can't lift like heavy anymore, I'm usually pretty over it. I just don't really see the point in lifting like light weights when I'm already cooked, but maybe you know, maybe I'm missing something, I don't know. Road's alright, making my way back with my coworker, doing the rest of the driving. Feels good to be done for the week. Hell yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. Enjoy it. Enjoy it, bro. Go home and open up some Pokemon. Some Pokemon. Hey, did you pull anything dope for the on your Phantasmal pack or your Phantasmal box? ETB, whatever you want to call it. Did you end up pulling anything cool? I need to go to a Barnes. I mean, I don't know if I want to buy Pokemon cards actually, but I should go to a Barnes and Noble just to see if they're there. I'm pretty sure there's one relatively close to where I live. There used to be one right by my house, but I think it moved. I don't think it's... Yeah, it's like Five Below now, I believe. Barnes and Noble's at the mall. Another IR too. Gave most of my cards to my coworker so he could give them to his daughter. Oh, nice. That's dope, bro. Hell yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. How many packs are in an ETB? Isn't it only like 6 or 7? 6, 7! 6, 7! Isn't it like 6 packs in an ETB? Oh, 9? Okay. Okay. Are we still doing that? Is that still a thing? 6, 7! Fucking the South Park episode's fucking ridiculous. I've noticed 6, 7 is everyone's go-to for a random number. It's hilarious. I still like 69. 69's still my favorite number. I ain't switching. I ain't switching. What do I look like, a TikToker? A fucking TikToker? J-Mant KD, what's up, bro? What's up? I mean, we'll see if there's a Team Tilray. So far, it doesn't look like many people care about this, but we'll see, I guess. It's still got 15 minutes till the close. Usually once it gets closer to the close, people start to pile in, but so far it doesn't look like Tilray's as hyped as I thought it would be. I'm good, bro. Just chilling. Just chilling, streaming some earnings, hanging out with my OGs. Hanging out with my OGs, even though kind of a boring stream right now. Nothing really to talk about, but I still appreciate my OGs here. Thank you guys. Every earnings that goes down. This is the first time I've streamed Tilray earnings, because this is the first time I've seen it actually get hype again. I think people forgot about weed stocks a long time ago, and then you got that random Schedule 1 thing, and now people are excited about weed stocks again. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Hey, Happy New Year's to you, bro. I hope you had a good holidays. Hope you had a good holidays. Maybe after the next 10-to-1 stock split, it'll hit 50. Did they do a stock split? Did they do a stock split? See, I don't even follow this thing. That does sound familiar, though. Everyone will jump back on board. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a weed stock guy, so I'm not bullish on weed stocks, but we'll see, I guess. I don't find the stock market is about investing in business. The government changing weed from a Schedule 3 to a Schedule 1 drug, that doesn't have anything to do with business. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not bullish on weed stocks. Although I did look at their balance sheet earlier, and it was a little bit better than what I remember. Last time I remember looking at Tilray's balance sheet, it was terrible, so maybe they're making a turnaround. I don't know. Yeah, they must have. I had one share. Just look, now I have 0.1. What the hell? That sucks. That's terrible. That's terrible. After Schedule 3, Tilray will be able to sell medical cannabis in the US. That's huge business. Oh, that's fair. I forgot Tilray was Canadian. I forgot about that. That's fair. But will it be profitable in the US? That's the real question. Just because it can bring in a lot of revenue and they can expand the business, is it going to be profitable? That's to be determined. To be determined. We've been legal for 8 years in Canada. Tilray knows the field. Yeah, but Tilray's been losing $200 million a year for the past, 4 years. So, you can say whatever you want about it, but the numbers don't lie. Go look at their balance sheet. Tilray has not been doing good. They could know the landscape and know the business, but they're not profitable, so I don't know. It looks like they might make profit this year, but it looks like Q4 is... Because last year they lost $2.2 billion, but it's because of this asset impairment charge, so they really lost 80-ish million, I think. So that's not that bad, considering 2024 they lost 200 million, and 23 they lost 1.4 billion, but that was also asset impairment as well, so lost 500 million-ish. And then Q3, what did Q3 look like for that? Yeah, so they're doing a lot better, probably better than they've ever been doing, so maybe they can make a turnaround, but it's just not an investment I would personally invest in. But hopefully it works out for the people that are investing in it. That's true. You look at the last year, big turnaround with Germany opening, Italy, and more countries coming along. Got the infrastructure in place, they just need to capitalize on it. Yeah, like I said, it does look like potentially they're turning around, so that's good to see. And, if you're looking at it from a fundamental perspective, it's not a terrible investment for, it's already up double since, 3x since June, but it's potentially undervalued fundamentally. So if they can actually start making profits and turn it around. You know, maybe it could be better than what I think it would be, but it's just you know, I'm just not invested in it, or I just wouldn't invest in it. I'm not really interested in weed stocks. But I can't deny that the balance sheet does look the best it's ever looked. GME. Oh man, we can't talk about GameStop again. God. You remember yesterday's stream? You can't talk about GameStop with other investors. It doesn't work. Oh man. Oh man. I'll just be curious to see how many people come into the stream. I think we had 400 or 500 in yesterday's stream. I don't know if Tilray is going to have that same amount of hype, but it is up a lot the past few months, so I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if a decent amount of people pull up. That was eye-opening to see how the market sees GME, though. Oh yeah. Why do you think I like it so much? Like honestly, if everyone was bullish on it and everyone thought it was good, I wouldn't be as interested as I am. But the fact that everyone thinks it's trash, and you know, especially people who are investing in something like APLD, like the fact that those people think it's trash because of, you know, their investment is up 10x the past 8 months or whatever, like that just makes me so much more bullish. That just makes me so much more bullish. I love that everyone hates it. Everyone pooping on GME yesterday. Oh, yeah, it was an interesting stream, to say the least. It was an interesting stream. Said bankruptcy by Friday, basically. Starting to look at it again, SMH. Not really. People aren't going to look at GameStop until it starts going up. I mean, it's like that every time. Once it hits 24, 27, 30, that's when people actually start to care. But nobody cares when it's sitting at 20. You know, nobody cares when it's the best time to buy it. Everyone just jumps on the bandwagon, and then they usually get wrecked. I mean, that's all we've seen the past year and a half. There was multiple times when there was hundreds of people in this stream, and the stock was trading at like $30, and then the next thing you know, the stock's going to 20. Like, you know, nobody's gonna pay attention to GameStop until it's actually going up. That's how it is with like every stock, it seems like. Although I did see a lot of people who had low cost averages in APLD yesterday, so like it is, you know, there are a lot of long-term investors in those streams, but it's mostly just traders and stuff. Mostly traders. Was I gonna look something up? I forgot what I was gonna do. I was gonna look something up, but I forgot what I was gonna do. Oh well. 5 more minutes and you till the market closes. And we'll see if this Tilray is going to be hype at all. I mean, let me see. Is there anyone streaming this? Because literally nobody was streaming APLD again, which was weird. Yeah, I'm the only one streaming it again. So that's good. I like when I'm the only person streaming these things. Definitely helps. Why is there so many AI streams? It's weird. So many AI streams. I browse through Pokemon subreddits and everyone talks about how GameStop is going to go bankrupt, salty about charging over MSRP. They don't know what's happening business operation wise. Yeah, everyone just has their opinion and they just repeat what they hear. They repeat what everyone else says. Like, nobody actually researches. And that's good, man. I mean, the fact that even that, like, that's not even, that's people outside of the market, but still investors, they're investing in Pokemon. Once GameStop starts going up, those people are going to be, they're going to jump on the bandwagon just like everyone else. It is what it is. How long is that going to take? Who knows? But $100 billion market cap compensation package. I got a feeling that it's going to happen eventually. When's Tilray earnings? I don't know. Like 10 minutes or something? We'll see. We'll see. Damn, your AI might have been right, Moose. Your AI might have been right. I did not click on Intel. I clicked on Tilray. Come on. There we go. Tilray. We can try it again tomorrow. Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. I don't know if that was really a hard prediction, but I don't know. Usually you can predict the close if you look at the volume profile. I think I've done it on stream multiple times. But it's just pointless to predict the close. Damn, is Tilray like not hyped? There's nobody here. There's nobody here for the earnings. That's kind of weird. I guess no hype for the Tilray. It's still all about AI. Still all about AI and chips. Chips and AI. I thought there would be more people here for... Well, I guess the market hasn't closed yet, but it's kind of weird. I thought you'd see a little more hype on this stock. People are fed up with cannabis stocks. That's that. I mean, Tilray's up 3x since July, and it went up even more than 3x. It actually went up, what is that? Like 7x in a few months. Like, I don't know how you could be fed up with something like that if you actually were positioned for that, but I don't know. I don't know. Is that the close? Ding, 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 ding. 2141, the AI said. Is that what it closed at? 2139 is the close. Pretty close. Pretty close. Legalization never happens. Legalization would probably be bad for business, so I don't know if that would be a reason to invest in cannabis. I feel like that would be bad for business. Nobody cares. I'm hyped as fuck. My 0.1 share is about to go to the moon. Just waiting for Lambo season. Hey, maybe tomorrow. Maybe we'll get a little taste of Lambo season tomorrow. Who knows? Just a little taste. She can get a taste. All right, Tilray. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got on the Tilray here. I think it's already up a little bit. Let's see. I'll go on Twitter and see. Hey, what's up, Eric? What's up, Eric? Hope you're doing good. Appreciate you stopping in. Well, Tilray's going up, so the earnings must have came out. Let's see. I don't think it's out yet, is it? No, it's not out yet. Still waiting. It's going up a lot randomly. It's already up 5% after hours. But I'm not seeing the numbers here. Not seeing the numbers. I want to try something real quick. I want to see something. Even though I never make Twitter posts, I just want to see. Tilray earnings call live. Boom. Let's see what that does. Let's see what that does. Curious to see. I never promote the stream on Twitter, like, ever. Insider buys, is that what it is? You got insider buys on there? Where's the numbers? Hey, look, it's me. It's me. Stock is tweaking after hours. Yeah, maybe I should have been doing Twitter posts for these earnings streams the whole time. As soon as I posted that, a bunch of people joined. Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. Maybe I should have been doing this the whole time. I never promote on Twitter because I don't like it. But it looks like it works. It looks like it works. Get the X-bots here, I guess. I guess so. Where's the numbers at, though? Hey, look, people are even liking the post. That's cool. So Twitter does have a useful... I didn't know Twitter was useful. Now I know. Now I know it's actually useful. Damn, you're up 5%. Gonna be 6-7 viewers. 6-7. We need 6-7 likes. We need 67 likes. Make sure you guys hit that like button. We need 67 likes. If you want Tilray to go to the moon, you gotta run up that like button. That's how it works. Tilray earnings are out. Expected number, negative 0.14 EPS. Actual number, negative 0.41 EPS. They missed by 193%. Wow. Revenue beat by 3%. Yeah, 211 million was expected. Actual number is 217 million, so a beat by 3% on revenue. Huge miss on EPS, though. Did the stock react to that? The stock is going up off that. That's pretty interesting. EPS is up 59% year over year. Oh, I guess they were just overestimating the EPS then. Okay. Revenue's up 3% year over year, EPS down from 0 quarter over quarter, and revenue up 4% quarter over quarter. So you beat on revenue, but missed on EPS, but the analysts could also have been having really high expectations for, the EPS, and they could have overestimated. But the market seems to like the earnings. The stock's kind of ripping. The stock's doing pretty well, so that's cool. That's cool. Let's see. I wonder if they have their investor... Tilray Brands Investor Relations. How come it doesn't show their website? There it is. Let's see. Do they have right here? What was the revenue? 217.5 million, beat by 3% of the expected number. And revenue's up 3% year over year and 4% quarter over quarter. So not bad, not bad. I just think the analysts had really high expectations. I think that's kind of... Wow, it's up 8%. This thing is crushing right now, chat. This thing is crushing. Up 8%. Wow. That thing is ripping. Absolutely ripping, son. All right. I'll read some of this before the earnings call starts. Tilray Brands delivers record Q2 fiscal 2026 net revenue of $218 million, moves to net cash position, and reaffirms full-year adjusted EBITDA guidance. Oh, they provided guidance too, so that's probably why it's going up. International medical cannabis revenue increases 36%. Canadian adult use cannabis revenue grows 6%. Tilray Pharma achieves record quarterly revenue. U.S. federal cannabis rescheduling expected to unlock new market opportunity for Tilray medical expansion in the U.S. I think someone in here was talking about that. I forgot who it was. J-Mant. Yeah, so shout out to J-Mant. He knows his investment. He knows his investment. That's kind of interesting. Strong financial position with $292 million in cash and marketable securities and $30 million net cash. Tilray, I don't want to read that part, but let's see. Financial highlights. Net revenue increased 3% to $217.5 million in the second quarter, compared to $211 million. Gross profit was $57.5 million in the second quarter, compared to $61.2 million. Gross margin was 26% in the second quarter, compared to 29%. Cannabis net revenue increased 3% to $67.5 million in the second quarter, compared to $65.7 million as a result of a 36% increase in the international cannabis and a 6% increase in Canadian adult use cannabis, offset by a lower presence in Canadian wholesale cannabis in anticipation of deployment in international markets. Well, you can be blocked, because I saw you in my stream yesterday, so now I'm blocked you from my channel, so now you can never message again. So, good for you, buddy. Good for you. Cannabis gross profit increased to $26.1 million in the second quarter, compared to $23.2 million. Cannabis gross margin increased to 39% in the second quarter, compared to 35%. Beverage net revenue was $50.1 million in the second quarter, compared to $63.1 million. Beverage gross profit was $15.7 million in the second quarter, compared to $25.2 million. Beverage gross margin was 31% in the second quarter, compared to 40%. Wellness net revenue was $14.6 million in the second quarter and was flat. Wellness gross profit increased to $4.6 million in the second quarter, compared to $4.5 million. Wellness gross margin increased to 32% in the second quarter, compared to 31%. Distribution net revenue, which includes Tilray Pharma, grew to our highest revenue quarter ever to $85.3 million in the second quarter, compared to $67.6 million. Distribution gross profit increased to $11 million in the second quarter, compared to $8.4 million. Distribution gross margin increased to 13% in the second quarter compared to 12%. Net loss improved $41.8 million to $43.5 million in the second quarter. I think that's negative $43.5 million. I don't know though, because usually parentheses mean negative. Second quarter compared to a net loss of $85.3 million, and a net loss per share improved by 0.41 in the second quarter from 0.99. Adjusted net loss and adjusted net loss per share improved to 2.0 million and 0.02 in the second quarter compared to the adjusted net loss of 2.2 million and 0.03. Excluding non-cash income, tax charges, adjusted net income and adjusted net income per share would be 1.6 million and 0.01 EPS. Adjusted EBITDA was 8.4 million in the second quarter compared to 9 million. Cash used in operations improved 32.2 million to negative 8.5 million from negative 40.7 million. Balance sheet update. In the second quarter, we grew our cash and marketable securities balance to 291.6 million, providing flexibility for strategic opportunities. Additionally, we reduced our total outstanding debt by 4.2 million, further strengthening the balance sheet. Our Q1 net debt position of 3.8 million improved 31.2 million sequentially to an overall net cash position of 27.4 million. Adjusted EBITDA outlook for fiscal 2026 reaffirmed at 62 million to 72 million. And then we'll get the earnings call here in like 15 minutes. So we're just waiting on the earnings call. Achieved another record quarter with net revenue reaching 218 million, result of disciplined execution within our diversified portfolio spanning cannabis, beverage, wellness, and distribution sectors. Our business model supports scalability, adaptability in challenging markets, and long-term value creation, as demonstrated by our ability to perform while reinforcing our core operations. The quarter concluded with a strong balance sheet and an ample liquidity, highlighting our prudent financial management and affording us flexibility for selective investment and strategic growth initiatives. As we continue expanding our operations and pursuing our priorities, we remain committed to achieving sustainable profitability and enhancing long-term shareholder value. We believe federal rescheduling would mark an important advancement for medical cannabis in the United States, paving the way for more research, wider physician involvement, and better patient access. Tilray has invested for years in developing the infrastructure, expertise, and discipline needed to operate successfully in tightly regulated medical markets worldwide. As the U.S. regulatory landscape progresses, Tilray is prepared to leverage its experience to play a key role in building a responsible, research-oriented national medical cannabis industry, with a dedicated team and platform already in place with Tilray Medical US. We intend to leverage the infrastructure, expertise, and know-how developed in conjunction with Tilray Medical's expected 150 million global medical cannabis business and our 300 million Tilray Pharma medical distribution platform in order to roll out our repeatable medical model and expand upon our current research, as well as initiating new FDA trials and partnerships for product development. Nice. So I honestly, I think this is the best, potentially the best earnings you've ever had on Tilray. I don't know because I haven't followed it, but I'm pretty sure this is some of the best earnings you've had. Pretty interesting. I mean, we'll get more from the earnings call, of course. We'll get more from the earnings call. The stock's up 6%. It was up like 8%, so doing pretty well. You deleted this guy's message. What do you say? That Gamestop is trash. Have a good day. Okay, that's nice. You can be blocked from my channel too. I don't give a shit. Isn't it crazy that someone literally came into my stream just to talk shit on GameStop? Like, you're a fucking loser. You can think GameStop is trash all you want, but you're actually a fucking loser. Why would you come into my stream just to talk shit? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. There's a lot of losers in this world. A lot of losers. Weed stock, no thanks. I'll support my local grower. What's up, Jeremy? What's up? Hope you're doing good. Down from 2025. How is this stock up? Wait, what? I don't know what you mean by that, but not even a new account. I didn't look at his account. People are just fucking, I don't know, man. Like, I can never take time out of my day to go into someone's stream just to say an investment that I would never short or never buy is trash. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I was referring to the guidance. Oh, I see. I see. Tilray gonna rock in 27. Yeah, it seems like it could potentially perform. I mean, the market seems to think so. Can you pull up the weekly on Tilray? I can only do 5 days on Yahoo here. I can do a month too as well. 6 months. I'd say 6 months doesn't show the current move, but I can do the 5 day. You're approaching the resistance for the past week. Maybe potentially retracing the downside breakout from December. But, you know, there's a Yahoo chart. I don't know exactly what's going on. It's pretty hard to analyze, you know, charts or do crayon astrology on a Yahoo chart. Kind of need candlesticks and stuff for that. Damn, that got 1,000 views. That's solid. That's solid. I'm going to do another one for the earnings call. I'll do money sign Tilray, hashtag Tilray, hashtag Tilray. Join Tilray earnings. I'm going to do it all caps. Tilray earnings call live. I'll post that when the earnings call starts. Whoa. Is there any competition for Tilray? Will there be more now the deregulation? I think Canopy Growth, but I want to say that's in the US already. There's a few other weed stocks. I can't think of them off the top of my head though. Maybe they have them down here. There's yeah, Canopy, Aurora, Kronos. I think Canopy is like one of the only profitable weed companies, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't looked in a long time, but if I'm not mistaken, they're one of the only profitable ones. Whoops. Yeah, go back there. 10K here. Oh, no. Nope, nope, nope. Canopy's not good, not good. Not good. Don't look good. Tilray looks better than that. Isn't one of them profitable? I thought one of them was profitable. I thought it was Canopy, but maybe that was a few years ago. Businesses can change pretty quick. ACB. Oh, that's foreign, so we can't even look that up. I own them all. Yeah, you'll have to ask Boris those questions. I don't know. I'm not a weed stock guy. I don't know enough. Obviously, I thought Canopy Growth was profitable, but they lost 500 million last year, so I don't fucking know. I don't know. Got about 8 minutes till the earnings call here. Tilray is the most international of cannabis companies, operates in several countries. Yeah, that's what they said in the filing. So, yeah, I guess Tilray's the GOAT, potentially, as far as cannabis goes. Owning all weed stocks, does that count as diversified? Yeah, wouldn't you want to own the best one? I don't know. I guess I kind of get diversifying between all of them, but wouldn't you want to just invest in the best one? Because if weed stocks are going to move, like, they're all going to move together. So I guess I don't really get the point of owning multiple weed stocks. I feel like you'd want to pick the best one, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they perform similarly. I mean, stock market wise, they should, but if you're looking at it from like a fundamental business perspective, I feel like you'd want to own the better business. But I don't know. I don't know. What do I know? About 5 more minutes, then the earnings call starts. After legalization, this sector gonna skyrocket 10,000%? Maybe. Could. It also could not move. I've seen the weed stock hype before. It tends to not last very long. And legalization doesn't mean profitable business. So, I don't know. I don't know. Younger generation's too health conscious. I don't know if I agree with that, bro. Every single young person I know is addicted to vaping and alcohol, so I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know. It'll encourage new cannabis companies and take market share. Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm not saying it can't go up. I'm not saying it can't perform well, but I don't know. I don't know. Well, time will tell, I guess. Time will tell. Stock performed decent off the earnings, though. It's not bad. Not bad. Short-term price action stuff, though. Who knows where it'll be tomorrow. This earnings call needs to start soon. I'm probably gonna go make food during the earnings call. Most likely. I'll still be listening on my phone though. Wall Street gonna invest like crazy into cannabis, believe me. Like I said, legalization doesn't equal good business. I feel like a lot of people mix business with government, and the government making weed legal has nothing to do with these businesses performing well over the next few decades. So, sure, there might be initial hype when it gets legalized, but is it going to last the next 5, 10, 20 years? That is highly debatable. Very highly debatable. The stock market's where you go to invest in business, not the government changing whether it's Schedule 1 or legalized. Like it's not investing. Legalization would actually be bad for a lot of these companies, probably, because as Ruben said, there would be more companies, less market share for these companies, be easier entry for your normal person. So legalization would actually be probably bad for a lot of these companies if you really think about it. Just because a stock goes up doesn't necessarily mean anything. What's the business doing behind that stock? That's more what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in investing in hype. Looking out 10, 20 years, the cannabis industry has a lot of unknowns. So to be certain about it, I don't know. I couldn't be. But like I said, hopefully it works out for you. Hopefully it works out for you. In the meantime, let's go Tilray. Hey, it's doing good so far the past few months. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, the earnings call should be started. Oh. Right? Shouldn't it be starting right now? It said 4:30 Eastern time, so that should be right now. Should be right now. Where's my earnings call? Where is my earnings call? Man, I should have promoted the stream. Should have promoted the stream yesterday. We probably could have got like 1,000 people in here. I honestly never thought about promoting the stream on Twitter for the earnings things. I don't know why. It seems like that would be pretty obvious. That'd be the one time people are actually looking at stock, like a ticker like that on Twitter. Smoking a joint? Well, he needs to put that shit out. It's not joint smoking time. It's earnings call time. Look at it. It's earnings call time, not joint smoking time. See, business. Smoking a joint is bad for business. I know you're joking, but still. He shouldn't be getting high. He should be focusing on making his business better and doing this earnings call. Seriously though, it should be starting. I don't get why it's not starting. Stock's still up over 6%. If you get high, the stock goes high. Dude, I'm gonna smoke some weed and I'm gonna get high and then the stock's gonna go high. Dude, I'm gonna get fucking high, dude. I'm gonna get fucking lit, dude. I've been in Tilray for 8 years. Good lord. That's insane. That's insane. Answer me this. Why would you be invested in a company that's only lost hundreds of millions, billions of dollars for the last 8 years? Like, why would you be invested in that? Wouldn't you want to be invested in something that actually makes money? Obviously, you know, it's too late now, but I'm just curious what the idea of investing in a business that's only been losing money is, and the stock's only been going down as they've been losing money. Like, what's the goal there? You just hope one day the stock goes up? Like, is there no... I'm curious what the... Why? Like, why 8 years? I don't get that. First investment, I believe, in the industry. Tilray has the largest distribution channels. Yeah, but it's not profitable. But that's fair. That's fair. Do I regret it? Yes. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Thank you for joining today's conference call to discuss.
Here's the earnings call.
Financial results.
You guys enjoy.
Fiscal year 2026 ended November 30th, 2025. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. After the speaker's remarks, there will be a question and answer session for analysts to conduct via audio. Now I'll turn over the call to Mrs. Beren Narada, Tilray Brands Chief Corporate Affairs and Communications Officer. Thank you. You may begin.
Thank you, operator, and good afternoon, everyone. By now, you should have access to the earnings press release, which is available on the investors section of the Tilray Brands website at tilray.com and has been filed with the SEC and SEDAR. Please note that during today's call, we will be referring to various non-GAAP financial measures that can provide useful information for investors. However, the presentation of this information is not intended to be considered in isolation or as a substitute for the financial information presented in accordance with GAAP. The earnings press release contains a reconciliation of each non-GAAP financial measure to the most comparable measure prepared in accordance with GAAP. In addition, we will be making numerous forward-looking statements during our remarks and in response to your questions. These statements are based on our current expectations and beliefs and involve known and unknown risks and uncertainties which may prove to be incorrect. Actual results could differ materially from those described in those forward-looking statements. The text in our earnings press release includes many of the risks and uncertainties associated with such forward-looking statements. Today, we will be hearing from key members of our senior leadership team, beginning with Irwin Simon, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, who will provide opening remarks and commentary, followed by Carl Merton, Chief Financial Officer, who will review our financial results for the second quarter of fiscal year 2026. And now I'd like to turn the call over to Tilray Brands Chairman and CEO, Irwin Simon.
Thank you very much, Baron, and good afternoon, everyone, and Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining us today. We delivered a strong second quarter, marked by record results and a beat against analyst expectations in the face of strong headwinds. We recorded our highest ever Q2 net revenue of $218 million, achieved an adjusted EBITDA of $8.4 million, and a reported reverse stock split adjusted EPS loss of 2 cents, all while generating an adjusted cash operating income of $6 million. More importantly, the quality of our performance continues to improve. Highlights this quarter include a 51% sequential growth in the international cannabis revenue and a meaningful year-over-year improvement in both net income and free cash flow. We also continue to strengthen our balance sheet. We ended the quarter with approximately $292 million in cash and marketable securities and reduced our debt by approximately $4 million during Q2, leading to a strong net cash position, exceeding our debt by almost $30 million. In a rapidly evolving global cannabis regulatory environment, particularly in the U.S., our liquidity and balance sheet strength remains a clear strategic advantage. Today, Tilray operates more than 40 brands in more than 20 countries. We are a global leader in cannabis, trusted by patients, healthcare professionals, and regulators worldwide. We are the #1 cannabis producer in Canada by revenue, the 4th largest craft beer brewer in the United States, and a market leader in branded hemp wellness products across North America, where our high-protein hemp food portfolio holds nearly a 60% market share. Our Q2 results reinforces the momentum we discussed last quarter, improving fundamentals, sharper execution, and increasing leverage from our diversified global platform across cannabis, beverage, and wellness. Let's turn to our cannabis business, which is strategically positioned for its next phase of growth. While global cannabis markets continue to evolve, we believe the industry remains early in its long-term development cycle. The decision by President Trump to federally reschedule cannabis in the U.S. represents one of the most consequential regulatory shifts the industry has seen in decades. Thank you, President Trump, if you're listening today. This is a moment Tilray has been preparing for methodically for years. And guess what? We are ready to go. We believe that cannabis rescheduling to a Schedule III will lead the U.S. towards a federally compliant medical cannabis framework. Consistent with our other developed international markets, Tilray is positioned to act immediately. We already have the platform, regulatory experience, operating capabilities, and leadership team in place with Tilray Medical US to execute responsibly and to scale. Globally, Tilray Medical is expected to generate approximately $150 million in revenue on an annual run rate. We offer over 200 medical cannabis products, serving more than 500,000 registered patients worldwide. We have participated in more than 25 medical cannabis studies and clinical trials conducted in the U.S., Canada, Australia, Argentina, and across Europe, with leading hospitals, physicians addressing conditions such as pediatric epilepsy, cancer-related nausea, PTSD, chronic pain, anxiety, essential tremors, alcohol use disorders, glioblastomas, cannabinoid impairment, and driving performance. These initiatives reinforce Tilray's reputation as a science-driven and evidence-based medical cannabis company, and they underscore the trust placed in us by healthcare professionals, patients, and regulators globally. We also possess one of the largest banks of cannabis genetics, which we intend to study in order to support research on the endocannabinoid system and advance medical cannabis science further. Now let's turn to Q2 cannabis performance. Global cannabis revenue increased to $68 million. Our high-margin international cannabis business led the growth, increasing 36% year over year and 51% sequentially to $20 million, marking one of our strongest international quarters to date. And we fully expect this momentum to continue as we expand our global footprint. This performance is particularly notable given ongoing permit challenges, regulatory transitions in Portugal and Germany, and continued price compression, especially in flower. I'd like to acknowledge and thank the international team for their focused execution under these circumstances. I also want to recognize our Canadian cannabis team for their expertise, support, and supply contribution. Additionally, I appreciate the cooperation of Infomed and the Portuguese regulators in facilitating improvements to permitting approval timelines. Looking ahead, Europe, particularly Germany, the UK, and Poland, represents a significant growth opportunity for us. Execution will be driven by operational disciplines, including process improvement, automation, cross-functional coordination, and increased utilization at our cultivation facilities in Portugal and Germany, and utilizing our Canadian facilities. Tilray operates one of the largest cannabis footprints in Europe, which we're continuing to expand, and our advantage lies in scale, speed, to market data, driven decisions making, and experience gained from our Canadian operation. Moving on to Tilray Pharma and our distribution business. As discussed last quarter, we're expanding our pharmacy reach in Germany, utilizing Tilray's Pharma expansive pharmacy network and salespeople, and expect to triple our medical cannabis distribution footprint in fiscal 2026. We remain on track to achieve these objectives. In terms of Q2 performance, revenue grew by 26% year over year and 15% sequentially to $85 million, making it our biggest quarter ever, while improving our gross margins. The increase in distribution revenue in the period was driven by competitive pricing, portfolio optimization, and an increased focus on medical device sales. Looking ahead, Tilray Pharma is laser focused on enhancing operational efficiency to support its commercial expansion into 3,000 additional pharmacies through strategic partnerships. As medical cannabis continues to expand globally, Tilray Pharma is positioned to play a significant role in our overall growth. By utilizing insights gained through integrating our medical operations, Tilray Pharma aims to strengthen its business value and create new growth opportunities within both the European medical market and the U.S. International markets remain one of Tilray's most compelling long-term growth drivers. As we expect, market opportunities, revenue, profitability continue to grow. In Canada, our cannabis business continues to reinforce its leadership position. During Q2, our adult use medical sales channel, net of excise tax, grew to $46 million, with recreational cannabis growing 6% in the quarter. Tilray continues to hold a leading market position in dried flower, non-infused pre-rolls, beverages, oils, and chocolate edibles. Our disciplined approach to product mix, margin management, and premium pricing has supported our strategic re-entry into the high-growth segments as vapes and infused pre-rolls, with a focus on accretive margins. In Q2, we advanced our innovation pipeline with the launch of Redecan Amp Live Resin Liquid Diamond Vapes, addressing consumers' demand for the full spectrum of cannabinoid strain-specific terpenes that deliver an authentic plant profile. This product combines 80% of live resin with 20% of liquid diamonds, maximizing potency while maintaining natural flavor integrity. In addition, we entered the Quebec market with vapes with the Good Supply brand, rapidly achieving a top 3 SKU position in the province while underscoring effective execution and strong consumer uptake. Operationally, we hit our highest quarterly volume in 2 years with over 5.5 million units shipped in Canada in Q2. We also completed our first harvest from a restarted outdoor cannabis grow in Cayuga, Ontario, exceeding expectations on the THC content. With this extra biomass, our cannabis cultivation capacity rises to 200 metric tons annually. This boost not only allows us to provide high-quality products at reduced cost and improve our profit margin, but also helps us expand into fast-growing markets, supplying both Canadian and international customers, including those in Europe, to meet increasing global demand. The positive momentum of the past 2 quarters reflect the trajectory of Canadian cannabis business. With the right product mix, healthy margins, we're well positioned to elevate this business in the second half of 2026 and beyond. With rescheduling of cannabis in the U.S., now is the time for Canada to modernize its regulation and secure its position as a global cannabis leader, including excise tax reform, marketing flexibility, healthcare integration, and on-premise consumption. Without modernization, Canada risks becoming an exporter of raw products, while value creation, intellectual property, and long-term economic growth moves elsewhere. As a global policy accelerates, the choice is clear: modernize Canada's cannabis regulation to support economic competitiveness, consumer education, sustainable growth, or risk being left behind in an industry Canada helped to create. Prime Minister Carney, I hope you're listening to this call. The Canadian cannabis industry has generated a significant amount of jobs, contributed billions of dollars in tax revenue to both federal and provincial governments. However, the lack of regulatory reform is resulting in Canadian producers redirecting their investments and attention towards international markets where excise tax can be circumvented. Given the declining spirits industry in Canada, excise tax should be reduced. Cannabis drinks should be permitted in liquor stores and on-premise locations. Medical cannabis sales in drugstores would lower excise tax burden while boosting overall tax revenues as the industry grows. Turning to our beverage business in Q2, beverage revenue totaled $50 million. We continue to make progress executing our integration and optimization strategy. We delivered $27 million in annualized cost savings in the first half of the year and remain on track towards our $33 million target. We're making meaningful progress in improving performance. However, there's more to be done as we continue to integrate our brands, streamline operations, and optimize processes. We acquire brands with the understanding that significant improvements and comprehensive turnaround would be necessary, a process that is currently underway through our integration plan. We recognize this transformation will take time, and while we have not achieved all our objectives, we are on track and encouraged by the positive momentum gained so far. We look forward to the up-and-coming spring product resets with our retail partners and the introduction of some of the new innovations in the market. These changes are anticipated to have a positive impact on revenue in the fourth quarter. Our outlook may seem bullish, but conviction is essential for success, which remains our primary focus: revitalizing the craft beer category, making beer fun again, bringing people together, fostering meaningful connections, and generating long-term value for our shareholders. We've established brands, breweries, a major distribution system. Beer is here to stay and not going anywhere. Tilray aims to expand its regional, national, and global presence through strategic partnerships with leading U.S. and international brands. We expect to share more about this in the future, but we believe these partnerships validate the strength of our platform and our strategic vision. This approach also positions us for future opportunities should cannabis THC drinks become federally legal in the U.S. We're ready to produce and sell, as we're currently operating a leading THC beverage operation across Canada with over 45% of the THC beverage market share. Regarding our U.S. hemp-derived THC business, we continue to offer Fizzy Jane, Happy Flower hemp-derived THC beverages in 5 milligram and 10 milligram formats through nationwide retailer partnership. Distribution includes Nature Wine, liquor, grocery outlets across the country. While regulatory changes may affect HDD9 products after 2026, we anticipate compliant participation under new federal laws if it happens. We're also pursuing international growth by expanding our beverage business into new markets worldwide, where we expect to leverage our future strategic partnerships. Our strategy for beverage abroad is evolving. with an emphasis on craft beer and non-alcoholic drinks, including energy beverages that meet the demands of consumers in this expanding sector, with brands such as Highball, our clean energy drink, Liquid Love, our sparkling water brand. Highball is set to launch in the UK in Q4, with the expansion plans also underway for the Middle East and Africa. Beyond non-alcoholic beverages and energy drinks, we continue to explore opportunities to build on our global craft beer segment. Tilray recently participated in the American Craft Beer Expo in Japan and gained valuable insight, which the team will pursue in the future. Rounding out our beverage strategy, we're also focused on expanding our non-alcoholic beverages in the U.S. and across international markets. Our recent innovations, including non-alc beers under Montauk, 10 Barrel, and our non-alc ready-to-drink canned beverages and distilled spirits, including Mach 1. Within the spirits category, despite market challenges in Q2, we focus on enhancing our commercial strategy, resulting in a 9.2% increase in depletions across vodka, bourbon, and gin, with vodka leading by double digits for the quarter. While the Bronco seasonal release sold out rapidly, our ongoing efforts remain focused on expanding product distribution to additional states and beyond. With 5 years' experience in the beverage alcohol industry, we remain confident in our future trajectory as we continue to enhance operational efficiency. Now turning to our wellness business, we generate a revenue of $14.6 million, driven by a strategic focus on value-added innovation, including high-protein super seeds, better-for-you breakfast products, better-for-you snacking, and the continued success of our Highball clean energy drinks. Within our ingredient sales business, we've expanded our range of offerings in hemp protein, hemp oil, helping us further develop our business in North America and Asia. Our hemp food business remains fully insulated from proposed hemp THC regulation, as these products contain zero THC and are broadly distributed across mainstream retail. In closing, we are confident in Tilray's trajectory for the second half of fiscal 2026 and beyond. With a diversified, scalable platform, improving fundamentals, strong liquidity, regulatory tailwinds developing globally, Tilray is well positioned to capitalize on the next phase of growth across cannabis, beverage, and wellness products. Thank you to our shareholders for your continued support and confidence in Tilray's long-term strategy. I will now turn the call over to Carl to walk through our financial results in more detail. Carl, are you ready?
Thank you, Irwin. Before I begin, please note that we present our financials in accordance with U.S. GAAP and in U.S. dollars. Throughout our discussions, we will be referring to both GAAP and non-GAAP adjusted results, and we encourage you to review the reconciliation contained within the press release of our reported results under GAAP with the corresponding non-GAAP measures. This quarter, we are reporting record second quarter net revenue and strong year-over-year improvements in profitability, and we are reaffirming our full year 2026 adjusted EBITDA guidance. Net revenue for the quarter was a record $217.5 million. Revenue growth was primarily driven by strong results in our international operations, both international cannabis and Tilray Pharma. Additionally, Canadian adult use revenue grew year over year. Cannabis net revenue increased year over year to $67.5 million during the quarter, driven by a strong 36% increase in revenue from international cannabis and a 6% increase in Canadian adult use cannabis. The continued year-over-year growth in our international cannabis business reinforces our view that Q1 results were temporarily affected by the timing of import and export permits. As a result, Q4 2025 and Q2 of this year provide a more accurate reflection of our ongoing performance expectations for the duration of the fiscal year. With the continued growth of international cannabis, we deliberately chose to scale back supply into the Canadian wholesale market in the quarter and redeploy that supply, along with new growth, into the higher margin international cannabis markets over the remainder of the year. Beverage net revenue for the quarter was $50.1 million. Beverage revenue was impacted by category-wide headwinds in the craft beer segment and our own portfolio optimization efforts under Project 420, where SKU rationalization and margin-focused initiatives continue to impact revenue. However, we expect spring retailer product resets to help mitigate industry trends. These upcoming changes should improve brand visibility and align product mix with consumer preferences, which we expect to benefit beverage revenue and gross margins in the fourth fiscal quarter. Wellness net revenue was flat year over year at $14.6 million, based on our strategic focus on value-added innovation and continued growth in highball and the ingredient channel. Results were offset by challenges in the club retail channel, which we are addressing through targeted initiatives. Distribution net revenue increased 26% year over year to $85.3 million, based on our focus on competitive pricing, the prioritization of high-margin SKUs, and favorable impacts from foreign exchange. We believe our distribution business will continue to complement and strengthen our international cannabis segment as we grow both in tandem. In terms of contribution, cannabis revenue accounted for 31% of revenue, beverage revenue was 23%, distribution was 39%, and wellness accounted for the final 7%. Gross profit during the quarter was $57.5 million, and gross margin for the quarter was 26%. While margins increased in cannabis, distribution, and wellness, margin constriction in the beverage segment negatively impacted the gross margin for the quarter. By segment, beverage gross margin reached 31% this quarter. While this represents a temporary decrease from last year, we are confident that the ongoing implementation of Project 420 will deliver significant improvements while also actively working on additional cost savings to improve overhead utilizations as well as SG&A. As these initiatives progress and sales volumes recover, we anticipate stronger overhead utilization and a return to higher margins. Importantly, we remain on track to achieve $33 million in annualized cost savings from Project 420 by the fourth quarter of 2026, positioning our beverage segment for long-term success. Cannabis gross margin increased to 39% compared to 35% last year. The increase was due to a greater proportion of sales being generated in the higher margin international markets, but was offset by increased sales in lower margin, price competitive categories in the Canadian adult use market, like vapes and pre-rolls. Distribution gross margin increased to 13%, up from 12% last year, while continuing to grow top-line revenue. In wellness, gross margin rose to 32% from 31% as we successfully managed input costs and enhanced operational efficiencies. Our adjusted cash operating income for the quarter was positive $6 million, which excludes the non-cash impacts of amortization and stock-based compensation. Net loss for the quarter was $43.5 million, a 49% improvement year over year compared to $85.3 million, or 41 cents per share compared to 99 cents per share. It should be noted that EPS was impacted tenfold by the reverse stock split and has been reflected in both periods. Adjusted EBITDA for the quarter was $8.4 million compared to $9 million last year. Cash flow used in operations was down to $8.5 million compared to $40.7 million last year. The $32.2 million improvement in cash used in operations was almost entirely related to reductions in working capital. We ended the quarter with cash and cash equivalents and marketable securities of $291.6 million, $0.8 million in digital assets, and improved from a net debt position of approximately $4 million in the prior quarter to a net cash position of almost $30 million at the end of the period. Additionally, during the quarter, we also completed our ATM program in the market. Our strong cash position provides us with the flexibility we need to execute on strategic opportunities and take advantage of the changing regulatory landscape. And we intend to work to further strengthen our balance sheet throughout the remainder of the year. Finally, we remain confident in our business, our strategy, and our opportunity. And we are reaffirming our 2026 adjusted EBITDA guidance of $62 to $72 million. We can now open the call for Q&A.
Thank you. We will now be conducting a question and answer session. If you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. A confirmation tone will indicate your line is in the question queue. You may press star 2 if you would like to remove your question from the queue. For participants using speaker equipment, it may be necessary to pick up your handset before pressing the star keys. One moment, please, while we poll for questions. Thank you. The first question comes from the line of Bill Kirk with Roth Capital Partners. Please proceed.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. On the intoxicating hemp ban for November implementation, is there anything, Irwin, that the industry can do to try to help improve the regulatory outcome? Is there any way to kind of extend the grace period, reverse the ban, carve out particular categories? Like, what can you do, or what can the industry do to get a better outcome there?
Good afternoon, and thank you, Bill. Great question. As you know, this for us was a growing business, and there is a lot of demand for these products. And we are working with some congressmen, senators, lobbyists to either extend the deadline or to change some of the regulatory that would have a regulated amount of milligrams, whether it's 5 or 10 milligrams, and to be sold on a national basis. And I tell you, so far, I have a really good feeling because, you know, we're talking to the different associations other than Senator McConnell and whoever backed him. There's no one out here against this and thinks this is something that should be banned.
Thank you. And then
the other thing, Bill, just the other thing, I mean, there's a lot of jobs that will be lost if this happens, which is something very important too.
Yeah, for sure. Carl, you had some comments about holding back supply and shifting it into international markets. Am I hearing that right, that would mean sales that could have been in this quarter simply come later? And is there a way to quantify how much was held back?
So what I said was that we've held back from the Canadian wholesale market at lower pricing than what we did in the prior year. And so last year we did about $5 million. You know, we obviously have the inventory levels that we have that are on the balance sheet that we could have that we can redeploy into European markets over the next 6 months of this year.
So it's just redeploying better margin sales, Bill, where we can sell it into Europe and get much higher margin for it than selling it into the wholesale market where we don't get the margins, and in some cases we're even selling it to competitors. So that's what it is.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Thank you. I'll jump back in the queue.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Robert Moscow with TD Securities. Please proceed.
Hi, this is Victor Ma on for Rob Moscow. Thank you for the questions. 2 for me, please. First, I wanted to ask about Canadian adult use cannabis. Growth in the quarter was about 6%. How much of that was volume growth versus price mix? Did you gain market share in the quarter? And then second, can you give a little more color on what drove the substantial increase in distribution sales? Was there any timing benefit that was realized in the quarter? Thank you.
So number one, absolutely, there was not price. You know, some of it came from new distribution. If anything, there was a strike in British Columbia that ultimately hurt us. And we did gain a little bit of share, not a lot. in the quarter. So it's demand. I think there's a lot we did in different markets. A lot of our new products started to roll out, and so that was the big reason from our growth, having supply, and I think just the team has done a great job. This is the highest quarter in selling of units, 5.5 million units that we sold in the quarter. So again, if anything, throughout the rest of the prior years, we saw lots of price compression. I think the good news is we're not seeing that price compression right now, but we're seeing demand continuously grow, and we're seeing, all the Tilray different brands growing in the marketplace. And again, what I'm talking about is all our products. It's our flowers, our pre-rolls, our edibles, our vapes, our infused vapes, and our drinks. Oh, sorry. In regards to CC Pharma, listen, I think, CC Pharma has been part of Tilray, since 2019. And trying to figure out what is the right position is one of our largest business. And, the European team, and with the growth and the opportunities in Germany, have realized a couple things. Number one, they're selling into pharmacies today. We're using the CC Pharma team to sell cannabis also into the pharmacy and also to deliver. The other thing is here, we're able from our buying power and, get better margins and demand for regular medicines, and we're seeing some great growth. It's the biggest quarter we've ever had with CC Pharma and some of the most profitable quarters we've ever had. So we're looking at how we really take this business for online. We're looking at how we're going to expand this business and take this model into other countries. And again, it's how we utilize the sales organization of CC Pharma, or now named Tilray Pharma, and using that organization to sell more and more cannabis into the drugstores that it sells into.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from the line of Aaron Gray with Alliance Global Partners. Please proceed.
Good evening. Thank you for the questions. First one for me, you mentioned the expectation for Tilray Global Medical to approach $150 million, I believe. So just any color you could provide maybe on the timing of that expectation. And then you also mentioned some commentary briefly regarding potential regulatory changes in Germany as well as pricing pressure. So could you help to maybe quantify how big a risk you're seeing from each of those potentially for 2026? Thanks.
So in regards to, listen, I think from an annualized basis, right now we're on a run rate for that $150 million, and that is both Canada and international markets, okay? And, the majority of that is coming from international markets. In regards to, regulatory change, not seeing and not concerned with regulatory changes in Europe and Germany. And I think if anything, we like what has ultimately come out of the German government. And in regards to, demand, we see more and more demand. As far as price compression, and you heard what I said before, and this is where Canada better watch out. You look at a lot of the Canadian LPs, there's a lot more of the Canadian LPs, there's Israeli companies, there's a lot more companies selling product today into Germany. But Tilray has been in Germany since 2019, 2020 with Tilray Medical. We are the only one, or one of the only ones with a grow facility there. And we work very, very closely with the doctors in Germany. You heard what I said before about having Tilray Pharma, where we are vertically integrated from our grow with our salespeople and have our own distribution piece there. So yes, a lot of product coming into Germany, which forces price compression, but what they're going to realize is the quality of product. You get what you pay for, and I think that's what's important, is they recognize that the Tilray medical products stand for quality.
I appreciate that. Second question for me, just turning back to the Canadian market, we had some commentary. More broadly, just wanted to get some color in terms of what are your expectations for growth within the Canadian market? Looks like we finished about mid-single-digit growth for 2025. So what's your expectation now for 2026? You talked about some of the strong volumes there, but it does seem like volume growth, has tempered a bit despite pricing pressure stabilizing for the Canadian market. So wanted to hear more about your expectations for growth in the Canadian market, and if a slowdown in growth also led to your decision to shift some of that product international. Thanks.
Well, first of all, it didn't slow down in growth. I had a 6% growth, and I had the highest quarter ever in selling units, okay? I think one of the things we're continuously looking at is how we grow this to more and more profitable business, and we can sell tons of wholesale product, and that's considered growth, but we're not going to do that. But, what we're looking continuously at is how we're coming out with added value products and premium products. And today we have a 50% share, on our drinks, which continuously is growing in the demand in that marketplace. We also, have the highest share of flower, in the marketplace. We sell over 80 million pre-rolls. We sort of backed away from the vape category because of the margins, and we're not making money on it. So I see the categories, from us, if I get mid to high single digit growth, I'll be very, very happy that in the Canadian market. Now, with that, I got to tell you, and Blair's on the phone, and he can jump in here anytime. I have seen some of the best lineup of new products coming out that this company has ever had. And I think that's going to help. New products are key. The other thing is, listen, the quarter and that British Columbia had a strike. And I think if other Canadian LPs decide they want to sell product in Europe, it's just going to be supply. Tilray today has close to 7 million square feet of grow in Canada and has the ability to grow 270 metric tons. I think the number in the quarter is we grow close to 200 metric tons. So we have plenty of supply. And not only that is we have supply and ample, product available to ship internationally, which is we're not paying excise tax and much higher margins for. So the opportunities are there for us. Canada's a small country, but it's a country where cannabis is legal. From a recreational, from a federal standpoint, is the only country in the world. And there's more and more users are seeing the benefit of buying cannabis by going into federally legal cannabis stores.
That's helpful color. Thanks for that, Irwin. I'll jump back in the queue.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Pablo Zuanic with Zuanic and Associates. Please proceed.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. Look, let me start with CC Pharma. Maybe you can give more color on that business. I think in the past you said that you reached 13,000 pharmacies. Now you're talking about tripling your distribution reach. I'm trying to understand that better. And also, if the new regulations in Germany stop delivery, your CC Pharma reach could be a big asset in terms of pharmacy reach. Would you be willing to also sell other people's products besides Tilray brand through CC Pharma? Thanks.
So number one, as I said, we've owned CC Pharma since 2019, Pablo, and it was finding the right way to operate this business. And originally we acquired it as part of tenders for Germany. And we've been a part, of the German drugstore business in Germany since then. We have now changed a lot within CC Pharma, where we've ultimately modernized, we've put money into technology there, we've taken labor costs out of there, we've been able to, buy medicines and regular medicines from, some of the pharmaceutical companies at much better prices and made some big investments. And I'll tell you, that is we're out there buying medicines and making sure we're buying them at the right price and selling them at a lot higher margins. So we have focused on that business. But back to your point, is today we have the ability to go into more and more pharmacies. And CC Pharma or Tilray Pharma has its own sales organization. And you don't see today medical cannabis sales go through CC Pharma. It goes through our medical cannabis business internationally. So there is a big focus to use that sales organization to sell more and more medical cannabis in Germany. And with that, with the regulations and everybody has to go direct to a pharmacy and can't buy online, there's, bigger opportunities for us because more, patients have to visit the pharmacy. The second question is, would I sell other, companies' product? Great question. We're in the business to sell and make profit. But again, why would we want to sell someone else's products if we can deliver, what the needs are for patients? But again, some patients may want some other competitors' products, and it's something we should look at, from a standpoint, does it make sense for us to carry some other products? I don't know. And that's not something we've looked at, but it's something we definitely should look at.
Okay, thank you. And then just a follow-up in terms of beverages. Obviously, this quarter, you had very strong performance in cannabis, but, a steep decline in sales in beer and profit margins. Maybe just give more color in terms of what is it that has not worked there. You talked about positive momentum, but the numbers don't show that momentum. And why put so much hope on just the spring resets? I mean, is it just about that? I mean, more color would help. And then just long-term, a reminder about your confidence that the beer business really fits your cannabis strategy longer term, or they just play together and we should think of them as a diversified portfolio anyway. Thanks.
So number one, there's many companies out there that have diversified business portfolios. And if you look at most companies, some have food, some have personal care, some have beverages. You look at Pepsi, they have snacks, they have food, they have drinks. You look at other companies, they have personal care, they have food. So I think it's important to be a diversified consumer packaged goods company, which we are, and we're, Tilray Brands. I come back and look at, we got in the beer business in late 2020, COVID came along, with our first acquisition of Sweetwater and then, multiple acquisitions. It's taken us time to integrate these businesses. We went from only one plant to 10 plants. Now we're down to 8. We went from only one brand to 18 brands. We went from probably being the 10th or 11th largest, craft brewer now down to the 4th largest craft brewer. So there's a lot that's happened over the last 4 to 5 years. And with that, there's been a lot of integrations. And these brands that we bought from ABI and from Molson's, they were not some of the best performing brands at the time, and it took some time to turn them around. So yes, I have a lot of confidence. Listen, beer is not going away. Beverages is not going away. And just like CC Pharma, here we are from a vertical integrated business. We have manufacturing, we have brands, we have a distribution, we have an infrastructure, salespeople. And it is taking probably some more time. And the other thing is, at the same time, the industry has had its decline. But I'll tell you what, as you come back and see, a lot, potentially will happen in regards to Delta-9 and hemp-infused drinks. And who are they looking at to be the leader in that is Tilray, because of our beverage business and our cannabis business. I say this, and I'm not making projections, but if I could sell cannabis-infused drinks in the U.S. tomorrow, if I, look what I have, a 50% share in Canada, and I multiply that, from a 10 times what I would have here, it's a $500 million business for us here. And someday we're going to be able to sell drinks in the U.S. infused with something. And whether it's CBD and cannabis, in regards to, President Trump new rescheduling, in regards to drinks that will get approved by the FDA for whether it's for anxiety, for pain, for sleep, et cetera. So the infrastructure is there for future opportunities, which is important. But to the point, we're in the beverage business today. We're in the beer business. We're in the energy drink business. We're in the water business. We're in vodka seltzers business. And I'll tell you what, the other thing is this here. There's a lot of companies talking to us involved to get us involved with different aspects of beverages because of what we have and how we're vertically integrated. So yes, am I totally, doing the dance with our results today? Coming out of there? No. But do I feel good about what we will do with this business and what we'll do with these brands? Absolutely, and what our strategy is. Unfortunately, it just has taken a little more time. And if you go back and look at the big companies, Molson's, ABI, Constellation Brands, they weren't created within 5 years. And it's, basically 5 years, and we're number 4 within the craft beer business. A lot of brands have gone away in the craft beer business, which gives more and more opportunities. So I am real bullish on the beverage business. And if you look in the supermarkets today and you look, elsewhere, beverage is the biggest category out there. And I think, Pablo, the big thing, we are not just depending upon the resets that are happening in the next 2 months. Gaining share in C-stores, gaining share on premise, gaining share in general. And that's what I'm, excited about.
That's great, color. Thank you. Look, if I may, I'm going to squeeze one more, if you don't mind. But just a short answer. In your press release, you talk about U.S. federally rescheduling cannabis. But I think my understanding and most people's understanding would be that if they reschedule, it will still be a state-by-state program. It will not be federally rescheduled. But I guess your interpretation that it will be federally rescheduled. And I think that's a big distinction. Do you want to just share some color on that? But just briefly. Thank you.
Our plan is what I've said. If a reschedule, what we're focused on, and I think a lot of other companies are focused on recreational, we are focused on medical cannabis. And our plan is to leverage the infrastructure and expertise and know-how that we've developed, that we got a $150 million business in Tilray today. And, with that, our $300 million distribution platform is something that we utilize in Europe. And how do we ultimately do that here? And again, engage, with the outreach of the government, with the FDA, and with our working with hospitals, working with research, doing clinical studies. And that's what we're looking to do there in regards to our U.S. entry into Tilray U.S. Not looking at it today of how we do state by state from a recreational standpoint, and ultimately what are we going to do? And we have so much research in pain, anxiety, cancer-related drugs, cancer anti-vomiting drugs, PTSD, and taking that science and taking those and taking our genetics and strains and working with hospitals and potentially strategically aligning with a pharma company to execute that within the U.S. is what we're looking to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our last question comes from the line of Federico Gomez with ATV Capital Markets. Please proceed.
Hi, thanks for taking my questions. Just the first question, just go back to the rescheduling comment there, with potential rescheduling in the U.S. I'm just curious, does that change the way you see potential investments in the state legal cannabis businesses, like you've done in the past with Madman?
No, it doesn't anything with the state, but again, as I said, Tilray is committed to invest in research. Tilray is committed to invest in clinicals. Tilray is committed to working with the FDA, the DEA, is coming up with approved cannabis drugs that can be used and sold for some of the conditions that I mentioned before. But it's not, state by state where we're looking at recreational. We are totally looking at this from a total medical standpoint.
Got it. Thank you. And then just second question, international cannabis. Could you help us understand, outside of Germany, what are the main international markets you have right now? And do you anticipate any other international market where, we could see some sort of regulatory change, near term this year that could lead to growth like we saw in Germany since April 2024?
So listen, there's Poland, there's today Italy markets, there's the UK markets. We're looking at oils for France and Spain. And I will tell you this here, without going into names and countries, there's a lot of stuff happening in the Middle East in regards to working with CBD and THC from a Middle East standpoint. There's some stuff and testing going on in India in regards to hemp and hemp-infused THC products. So again, and I will say this here, and that's why I thank President Trump from a rescheduling standpoint. Rescheduling cannabis from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 has opened up the eyes and the legality of a lot of other countries here. And I think that's what was important too. Once the U.S. did it, there's a lot of other countries now are saying this stuff is not taboo. It's something that's really benefit and can be really helpful in a lot of different diseases and can be very helpful as a medicine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to pass the call back over to management for any closing remarks.
Thank you very much, operator, and thank you very much for everybody joining us today. As you can see, there's a lot happening at Tilray. And as a diversified consumer packaged goods company that today sells products into the recreational cannabis market in Canada, sells medical cannabis in Canada, sells drinks in Canada, sells beverages in the U.S., spirits, and our hemp-infused, our hemp foods, our wellness products, and then our international products with our international medical products and our Tilray Pharma. So there's a lot within Tilray today. There's a lot of science, there's a lot of research, there's a lot of genetics that we're doing. And as a 5-6-year-old company today that's really pulling this all together, and there's no one out there today that is diversified like us. One of our strengths is our balance sheet. It's, we're in a net cash position. So we're able to invest in research, we're able to invest in trials, we're able to invest in clinicals today. So you can't look at us today as a recreational cannabis company. You can't look at us as just a beer company. And you got to look at us today as a consumer company that looks at products and looks at different ways to help bring consumers together, help bring people together. And that is some of the stuff we're doing. At the end of the day, as you can see what we've done this quarter in regards to our profitability for our shareholders. And again, it's been 5 years and putting this together piece by piece, and there's a lot to do. The question asked by Pablo in regards to our beverage business. Yes, there's a lot to do in the acquisitions that we've done. And one of the proofs is here. Look at the acquisitions we've done on cannabis as we put these cannabis facilities and brands together, took out costs, integrated the businesses, and we're seeing, the performance of that today. It's no different. We've really only got into the international cannabis business over the last year or so, and that's on the run rate to be a $100 million business. So there's a lot to do within Tilray. There's a lot of great assets within Tilray, whether it's facilities, whether it's brands, whether it's distribution, whether it's know-how. And there's a lot of AI coming into Tilray today to help us implement a lot of what's happening. I appreciate, those that have stayed with us as shareholders. I know there's times you're frustrated, and there's times probably I'm frustrated more than you are. but I do see a good path with a lot that's happening coming together. I got to tell you, we deal with a tough regulatory environment out there. We pay some of the highest excise tax in Canada, and I hope Prime Minister Carney heard me how important this industry is for the Canadian market, the jobs it created, the tax dollars, and we don't want to see this run away from Canada. I commend President Trump for rescheduling. He was the first president that really took this on. Everybody else sort of ran away from it. And it's up to us now to show what this really can do. So thank you very much for getting on our call today, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Awesome. That wasn't bad.
This concludes today's teleconference. You may disconnect your lines at this time. Thank you for your participation.
That wasn't bad. Damn, the stock's up over 8%. Crushing. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. And subscribe if you're interested in stock earnings. We do these streams all the time, so if you're interested in stock earnings, make sure you subscribe, but hit the like button on the way out. Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for listening. I thought it was funny at the end. We got a lot of AI that we're implementing. Oh my god. He had to pull the AI card. Fucking guy. He had to pull the AI card. Fucking crazy. Fucking crazy, man. Alright. Well, if you guys don't have anything to talk about, I'm out of here. I don't even know who's here, but appreciate you guys supporting the stream. Thank you to all the OGs. Thank you guys for always being here. And shout out to the new people. Thanks for giving the stream a chance. Hopefully we see you again. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day / night, wherever you may reside. And is tomorrow Friday? Yeah, I should see you guys tomorrow. Maybe I won't stream tomorrow. I don't know. I most likely will for like an hour. But, yeah. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you on Monday. So, have a good one. God bless you. Peace.